Good evening, everyone. Phil here, and welcome to the Daily Wrap for what was Monday, the 23rd of September, 2024. If you wonder why I look like I'm all sweaty and beat up, it's because I had a heck of a day with about everything going on. Like, for example, today I knew was going to be a day of full sunshine outside. And I have these new blackout curtains in my office. And the intention is that they're going to block the sun and make the office cooler. But I've had them for 2 days and found out they block out the sun, but they do not make the office cooler at all. And knowing that it was going to be sun today, I had ordered a new set of blackout curtains. These are made from a totally different material, and they have reflective backs. They're supposed to reflect the sun back so that basically the room stays cool. But they actually arrived in the middle of my first stream. So I had already done the podcast. I had already been streaming Astrobot like an hour, and the office was already hot. So basically, when I closed these blinds or these shades, it just caught the heat in the room. And man, I had a heck of a time trying to get this room to cool down today. It's still not like I'm hot right now. I tried to play fighting games tonight, and I was sweating profusely. It's like, oh, I can't wait to take a shower. Seriously, I just feel yucky, all right? Plus, on top of that, today was a rough day because we did not resume the streak, which really sucks. It is what it is. Everyone's starting to call it now the curse of the Mondays. And I'm like, what do you mean by that? The curse of the Mondays. And people are like, are you aware that when your streak ends, it always seems to end on Monday? And I was like, no, I'm not really paying attention. And they're like, yeah, remember? So first you had Black Myth Wukong, and that was a Monday. And then it resumed, and then it ended again on a Monday. And now again this Monday it happened again. I'm like, wow, no, I'm not tracking this stuff or anything. But yeah, so here's the deal. Here's what happened today. On the podcast, we basically had a chill podcast that finished up the suggestion box suggestions. And it was good because we did get some good positive stuff out of there. Like, one of the suggestions is I should set up 3 separate streams, one for the podcast, one for gameplay, and one for the second gameplay stream. So that way, people who are interested only in the gameplay won't be showing up to the podcast. They'll be showing up to the gameplay, right? And I was like, oh, maybe that does make sense. Maybe I could do 3 separate streams, and that way they could even be separate videos and archives and the like. Yeah, maybe that does make sense, because I do that every Sunday anyway for the React show. I do the podcast, the first React show, and the Retro React, and they all link together. So I was thinking maybe I will do that for moving forward. Maybe we'll try it tomorrow, and we'll see how people like that, right? Anyway, so we got some good suggestions. We got through the podcast, and then we started up with Astrobot. And listen, Astrobot is a great game. Don't get me wrong. Like, today we finished World 4. We got a good chunk into World 5, but we didn't finish it. We only got about halfway into World 5. I did have to take like a 20-minute break when the new blackout curtains arrived to hang them and everything. So yeah, we didn't get super far into Astro today, but it looks like one more major stream and we'll wrap it up. But we still had a lot of fun. Like, there's one real rage-inducing thing that happened that I think I'm going to clip, and that'll be my clip for today, is me raging at Astrobot because the thing's kicking my butt for like 15 minutes. But yeah, like, basically, during Astrobot, we did good, but we didn't hit the goal. I think I'm trying to actually remember like where we ended at the end of the Astrobot stream. I want to say maybe we had raised like $100, something like that. It definitely wasn't close to the whole goal of the 200 raised between super chats and tips. So basically, at the end of the stream, I'm like, wow, this is the second straight stream of Astrobot that this has happened. But I'm not gonna get upset. Like, I like Astrobot. Here's the difference with Black Myth Wukong. I legit didn't like the game at that point. I was like, I'm not going back to it. The game stinks, But with Astrobot, I really like the game. We're basically at the end. I think like one more stream, we're gonna beat it. So we're definitely gonna go through that one and finish it up. I'm not dropping it or anything because it seems to not get the support of other games. So anyway, we had fun with Astrobot. Didn't hit the goal, and it was incredibly hot in here. I'm like, man, I can't wait to get out. So then I came back for my late stream, which was the Marvel vs. Capcom collection, which they've now fixed to actually get matches. And yeah, it's true. Like, I basically got matches all night long in ranked with no issue. But here's what happened. Basically, the whole first half of the stream, I spanked scrubs in Marvel 2. Then I finally got a player, and I'm playing them, and I'm like, when they're playing and they're doing this shit, they're playing, fly on fly, sentinel and stuff. They're doing moves that I am blatantly reacting to and blocking, and then all of a sudden the game just teleports ahead and gives him a combo. And it just keeps doing it over and over. It wasn't like once or twice. It was like legit every match, this guy was getting away with freebie shit. And the problem with Marvel 2 is if you get caught in one free combo, it could lead to the end of the game. And that happened several times against this guy. And basically, I got pissed because I'm like, dude, you can tell this fucking guy did not just buy this collection and learn it like this. He's been playing on emulation with this shitty rollback netcode for years. So he's used to it. And then it was hilarious because someone confirmed in chat, yeah, he's a tryhard. He's been playing on Fightcade for years and years, and he bought this collection, even though it makes no sense. If you play on Fightcade, why did you buy the collection? Because he wants to flex his fucking E-muscles and shit. Oh, look what I did for the last 10 years. I practiced on rollback netcode where you can't block anything, and now I'm going to bully you. Like, what a loser. So basically, the whole first half of the stream, I'm destroying everyone in Marvel 2, and then I play a guy where he's abusing the netcode and just hitting me with shit that he's legit not hitting me with over and over, and I got so heated, my whole body got covered in sweat, and I'm swearing like a sailor like I usually do, right? Second half of the stream, we switched games, and I played some Marvel 1, had some really good matchups in Marvel 1 against some decent players, and then we did some X-Men versus Street Fighter to end the night. So there was good variety, and it was all ranked play. Yes, the Marvel collection does work, okay? And it was a good time, but we barely got, we got like maybe $60 in support total all night. It's like, so is this the end of the world? Of course it's not. Guys, you got to understand something. I had a streak of 41 streams where we were hitting the goal. Then I had a streak of 12 streams. Then I had a streak of 6. You do the math, that's a lot of revenue that I made within the last month and a half. So I am happy, all right? I hope that we can regain the momentum. But today was just not the day to do it. It's hot as hell in this room. I'm overheated. I'm playing games that sadly aren't really bringing in as much attention. At this point, Astrobot I've been playing now several streams. People are kind of tired of it and want to see it end. They want new games. The Marvel collection I've played a lot of now. They want new games. You see what I mean? So it is what it is. The good news is there is new games coming. We're going to finish Astrobot very soon. We're actually going to finish the casting of Frank Stone within one of our streams. And then we're going to move on to new games. And I don't know if that's Zelda. I don't know if that's going to be Dead Rising Remastered or something else. Epic Mickey Remastered is coming out this week. There's different games to consider. All right, we'll talk about these as we get further in and we start finishing up other games. But I just want everyone to understand, I'm not disappointed. I'm not sad. I'm not hurting because we didn't hit the goal today. All right, I would like to get the momentum back tomorrow. But here's another big if, because if you don't know, here's what tomorrow's schedule is. On the first stream, the Level 1 podcast, I don't even know what we're doing because right now, there hasn't been anything going on in game news in ages. There is a Sony event tomorrow at 3 p.m. Pacific time. So it's not even early enough for me to watch and have anything to talk about during the podcast. So it's kind of like, damn, that sucks, right? So I don't even know what to do during the podcast tomorrow. Unless I try to dredge up some drama, maybe. I don't know. I guess we can see. But outside of that, it's just like, just a hangout session at this point because there hasn't been any significant gaming news in so goddamn long. There haven't been many topics to talk about, right? So we'll see what happens with that tomorrow. But then after that, all day long tomorrow, it is the premiere of Terry Bogard in Street Fighter 6. He is the brand new DLC character. I used to play with him in both Fatal Fury and King of Fighters, so I know his moveset. I know how he played in those games. I don't know how that's going to translate to Street Fighter. That's what tomorrow is all about. Going into training mode, going into his tutorials and stuff like that, trying his trials, doing some bread and butter combos, taking him to casual play online, learning the basics, and then going to ranked and trying to level him up and get him to master. I don't know if we'll get him to master. We'll have to see how it goes. But it should be a fun day of Terry Bogard coverage all day long, much like I did with Bison, much like I did with Akuma, and many other characters. So I hope you'll join me tomorrow, and I really hope, if you haven't been around, if you weren't around today because you just weren't interested in the games, I hope you'll come back tomorrow to support. I want to get the momentum back. You can't do it every day. The streak isn't going to always last 41. We know this, right? Like, you'll have a streak of a few days, and that's great. And I did tell you guys, if we end up actually getting a big streak of support that lasts a while, like, I would do special events at milestones. Like, if we hit 25, 50, 75, 100. I even said today, if we ever hit 100 streak, I'll do a celebratory special marathon event where we'll do all kinds of crazy special stuff. But we're very far removed from doing that when today we didn't even hit the goal once, right? So we'll see what happens tomorrow. I'm excited for Terry Bogard all day long. If you're not interested in fighting games, then come back on Wednesday, because on Wednesday it'll be the casting of Frank Stone and a night stream of WWE Champions where we're continuing on with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles event. Fair enough? All right, guys. Thank you so much. I had a great time today, regardless of, not hitting any streaks. My complaint today is the heat. I hope tomorrow these reflective curtains will work, because I'll have them closed all day. That was the problem today, is the heat was already in the room. So having them up almost trapped the heat. So now hopefully tomorrow, keeping the heat out, it won't be a problem. We'll be able to keep the heat out, but we'll find out. I mean, I'm probably going to be in here sweating bullets trying to play with Terry Bogard. That's going to be interesting, I guess. Anyway, thank you all. Great streaming day. Have a good evening. I'll see you all in the morning for a level 1 podcast and for Terry Bogard. And I will do a highlight tonight of me raging at Astrobot. Okay? Thanks, guys. Good night. See you tomorrow. Peace out.